Yo, my boys, we back. And I think y'all knew this video was coming. We got the career simulation of Shedeur Sanders right after this quick message. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please find it in your hearts to like, comment, and subscribe and support a young content creator like me. And look, Shedeur Sanders is probably the most talked about prospect in college football today. He beat TCU last week with his arm, dominant, 500 yards. I want to say, 4 or 5 touchdowns. Then today against Nebraska, another 400 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, one with his legs, which he hit the primetime shuffle. Now, I think the question is, Shedeur Sanders, where will he be drafted? And personally, I think we won't even see him in this draft class coming up. For one reason, actually 2 reasons. First, I think this is probably one of the deepest QB drafts we were going to see in a minute, with the likes of Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, go blue. But those type of prospects, Spencer Rattler. And also, no matter how good Colorado is this year, and no matter how good Shedeur Sanders is this year, I think the team around him will be 2 times better next year when Deion is able to get a better offensive line and better defensive line, which will increase the team's success, which will also make him a great prospect next year when the quarterback class is not headlined by 3 top guys, in my opinion. However, for this particular video, we will have him in the draft class of 2024, competing with the likes of the top 3, which is Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, and Shedeur Sanders, as you see right here, is supposed to be the 3rd quarterback taken off the board. Now, I think Shedeur Sanders will probably be a day 2 pick, right? However, I will say this. I don't think there's a limit on how high he can go as far as after Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Michael Penix. Because I think he'll improve during the season. He's already been phenomenal. And I think also the other thing is, which is special, is his performances against top competition like Oregon and USC could really open some eyes. Which then makes you think if he did go into this draft class, maybe he could be the 4th quarterback taken off the board. And maybe it's possible that 4 quarterbacks go in the 1st round. However, he does have a lot of elite characteristics, which is something we should also go through, right? So, you're going to see his physical traits here. Decent acceleration, solid to good agility, solid to good change of direction, solid to good jumping, decent to solid speed, poor to marginal strength, and solid to good throw power. When it comes to Shedeur Sanders, in my mind, and maybe it's just because the draft class of the previous year is the first thing that comes to mind, right? I think of C.J. Stroud. And what I mean by that is not the exact same player, but as far as their accuracy and their ability to make throws in the pocket is what is going to make them special. They're not elite athletes. Shedeur Sanders is not an elite athlete. He can make plays behind the line of scrimmage, and one of the most elite talents he has is keeping his eyes down the field. Right, that's where some of his best touchdown throws this year have come from. Him being able to move in the pocket or outside of the pocket, dodge defenders, and make incredible throws down the field. His throw power, I believe, or his arm strength is what we'll go with, scouting language. I think what I'll say is it's NFL ready. Could he probably get a little stronger? Possibly. But I think it's NFL ready. He can pretty much just about make every throw. The only reason I would be down on him all is because he's not a great athlete. The same reason I'm kind of down on C.J. Stroud being an elite quarterback in the NFL, because he's not a good, great, or really, I guess maybe an above average athlete, but not good or great. And in my opinion, the way the NFL is trending is to good to great athletic quarterbacks, because what they can do when the play breaks down. However, you got the Joe Burrows of the world that are exceptions to the rule, who is a dynamic pocket passer and has led the Cincinnati Bengals franchise back to prominence. So maybe Shedeur Sanders is able to do that. But as you can see, there goes his skills. We will get straight to the NFL draft, and we will see where he goes. We're at NFL draft week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get into it. See, now, in my opinion, Caleb Williams should go first. But the Chicago Bears have the first pick, so I don't think he's going first. As Marvin Harrison Jr. comes off the board first, the best wide receiver prospect. Next off the board is Caleb Williams to the Rams, which would be interesting. Probably replacing Matthew Stafford. The Colts take Brian Gesicki. I mean, not the Colts, the Cardinals. No, that was the Colts. I'm right. And then the Cardinals take Brett Kellaway. If you guys want to know what draft class I use, it's Bengals. Shout out, one of the better YouTubers that does Madden content. But we also have, offensive tackle. It's going to be interesting to see as Drake May goes to the Minnesota Vikings to probably replace Kirk Cousins. The Raiders take Josh Parham. Makes me think of the big 6'8" tight end Donald. Greg Mills from Wisconsin goes to the Titans. Goes to the Saints. I keep forgetting that. We're on the clock, and then we got the team that already drafted. And then Earl Richards goes to... Okay, so, yeah. We're going to skip through. Brock Bowers. That doesn't look like Brock Bowers. Tight end from Georgia? Yeah. Y'all look up Brock Bowers and tell me if that has any resemblance. Anyway, Ray Silver from Florida State. We also have Daniel Hooks from Texas A&M. This is Shedeur might not go first round right now is because I don't think many teams need a quarterback. George Moody, the bow. Now this is actually interesting. It feels like go watch the Travis Hunter video and see where he went to match his mentor. And then you see where Shedeur Sanders is going to match his mentor. Not saying his father isn't one, but his mentor, Tom Brady. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Tom Brady retired from. What are the odds? And if y'all want to see Travis Hunter video, I'll make sure to put it in the link below the video. But going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is pretty interesting because they're almost ready to go, you could say, as we're going to switch teams. And then we're going to check out Shedeur Sanders' stats going into season 1. Gentlemen, we're at week 1 of the preseason. Now, Shedeur Sanders is a 75 overall hidden dev trait. He's a strong, and see, I just want you guys to know right now, do not blame me for this. If you watched the first career sim we did, you already know about this. For some reason, and I guess it'll be patched hopefully eventually, especially because I plan on keep doing these videos, for some reason it's a glitch with how the person is supposed to look. Because we all know that does not look like Shedeur Sanders. However, everything else is right. 6'2", 215, 21 years old, rookie from Colorado. Now, these are stats going into week 1. 90 throw power, deep accuracy, medium accuracy, short accuracy. All pretty decent. You got to have some room to grow, right? His speed, I only put at 80. And the only reason I did that is because they didn't kill CJ Stroud for speed in Madden. I've also seen him get a little shifty, so he has good agility, good change of direction, good acceleration, decent juke move. Not a great athlete, but an above average one as far as Madden is concerned. Also, everything else seems to be pretty right. Good toughness. Injury, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Shedeur Sanders has never missed a game in his college career so far and has not been knocked out of any games. Hopefully that continues because, boy, that offensive line is going to be tested as this year continues. However, you can also see on the side, he does have the traits, a leader, number 1. Alpha leaders, D for dogs. You know how Deion Sanders does. Aggressive decision maker, tight spiral, trigger happy, sense of pressure. I guess we'll see what happens when they go to USC. Predictable player, balanced penalty tendency. Those don't really matter. So, I think the most important thing is I don't think he could have been put in a better situation. The Bucs signed Ramondre Stevenson. They have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. They have Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen. I mean, also Otten, who's a pretty good young tight end at 25 years old, 75 overall. Not the best, but decent. Then you go to the defensive side of the ball. It depends on who we lost. Nobody. We still have Levante David. We have Devin White. We still have Vita Vea. Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis? Is that right? I think it's right? Carlton Davis. Yes, sir. I got that right. Now, Ryan Neal is on the backside of the defense as well. Antoine Winfield and Jamel Dean. Honestly, this is actually a pretty good team for a young quarterback. My only problem is we'll see how long this lasts because some of these guys that are better are old, such as Levante David. Chris Godwin is starting to get up there, and so is Mike Evans. And when it's time to play Shedeur, hopefully if and when he performs, it'll be hard to keep some of these top-tier receivers. However, this is the plan. We'll get to the mid-season point for the first couple of seasons. And the only way I'm going to hop in and play anything is if we make it to the Super Bowl. Now, the key is we do have a quarterback this time and not a wide receiver / DB. So, I think maybe halfway through his career, depending on how he's doing, we might, if he's still on the Bucs, switch the playbook. But if he goes to another team, we'll let him rock out with that. Hopefully, though, it should be a pretty good first season for one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in America right now. I'll see you guys at the midseason mark. Yeah. So far, we are 4-3, which is a lot better than. Trust me. Just trust me. It could be worse. It's a lot better than what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a player go his whole career, never make it to the playoffs, except for maybe one time. So, starting off 4-3, we are leading the division. A good young quarterback in Shedeur Sanders is probably having a pretty decent season. We will check his stats. Okay, this is actually kind of what I expect. You know what I'm saying? 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty good. Then we go to his rushing yards. He does have 114 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of yards per carry, but he has snuck in twice. And then that's pretty much it. Mike Evans is getting 362. Chris Godwin, Russell Gage. He's moving the ball around equally to his receivers. Hasn't really gotten Otten involved, which kind of sucks because I did shout him out. But we are 10th ranked in offensive yards. So, to be that way in the mid-season point of his rookie year, it's actually pretty impressive. I think we're doing pretty good so far. We'll check the upgrades right now because I'm pretty sure he has a few. As we do have the dev trait. Yes, he does have superstar. As we will go ahead and throw on, just throw tight out, I guess. He doesn't have anything crazy. We'll throw this on field general and maybe one on strong arm. Actually, we'll go both field general this time around. As he's still developing and still has that creepy face. And boy, did things take a turn for the worse. We won 2 games the rest of the season. Let me go ahead and check the schedule because that is kind of hard to believe. I thought we were doing so well. We stopped at week 8 and then we continued to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, win 1 and then lose 2. Pretty doggone tough, but that's not the point, right? We're really focused on Shedeur and how he is progressing. 3,000. Oh boy, this is kind of roughed up. Oh my gosh. Okay. He had 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 1 interception, I think it was. He went from that to 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions? What is this, the Jameis Winston arc? Terrible. He killed Mike Evans' 1,000-yard streak season. He killed it. Mike Evans, his entire career, has gotten 1,000 yards. And then Shedeur Sanders walks into the door and can't find the 6'5", 231-pound future Hall of Famer. And if you don't think he's a future Hall of Famer, just you tell me another receiver that has 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. You can find that. Go ahead and put it in the comments. But Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, he still, moved the ball around pretty good. He never really got Otten involved except maybe in the red zone. But not the best first season. However, we had a long career. Things can change, and we hope they do. Theme music because, yes, we are at week 1 of season 2. Now, and we got to look at the team as always, right? Look at the roster. See where we at as Shedeur continues to grow. As he's now an 80 overall. That thing just creeps me out every time. That head and those steely eyes, no hair. It's just creepy, man. It's just creepy. But we have to check out what the team looks like. I felt like we had a decent roster last year. Was it the best roster in the NFL? Not by any stretch of the imagination. However, we did have some pieces. Now, okay, this is really, really bad. Oh, man. Okay, so Mike Evans lost his X Factor. I kind of figured this might happen only because he's regressing. He is now 32 years old. He's at the end of the line as far as Madden is concerned. Rachaad White is now our starting running back. Ramondre Stevenson must have been a 1-year rental. And now we have no superstar offensive lineman. Boy, has this roster went from sugar to something I don't want the little kiddies to hear. Now, Antoine Winfield is still here. The defense, they still got some bright spots. Antoine Winfield, Vita Vea, Devin White, Ryan Neal, Jamel Dean. But other than that, I don't really expect us to have a good season. I'll see you guys at the mid-season mark, but we're not expecting much. 1-6. Okay. It's bad. I know it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. Shedeur still is getting upgrades, which is nice. He's still developing. Morale is in the tubes, and clearly it's because of a 1-6 season. Shadeur's a winner at heart, right? His father has raised him to be a winner. If we're going to throw a quick draw on him now and maybe a little anchored extender because of how he makes plays sometimes outside of the pocket. But let's just be real. I could sugarcoat it all I want to. It's bad. But I told y'all to start. It was a bad roster. It was terrible. So let's just go ahead and get to the end of the season, get to the playoffs. I don't even want to see the stats until the end. Let's just go. End of season 3-14. Yeah, that's bad. Do we have any upgrades for Shedeur? He's still growing. Still becoming a pretty good quarterback. You have to wonder if things don't turn around for the young man, does he keep the superstar? Still very young though. So hopefully the early struggles doesn't kill his career and his development. However, let's go ahead and look at the stats, right? Because they couldn't, they were bad. Oh my God, we're going to have to change the playbook. 3,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. And a 59% completion rating. Now what I will say is, Mike Evans had a resurgence, got back on the good foot. But who is he really throwing the ball to here? Trey Palmer. I think the young man has some speed, if I'm not wrong. But not the best. And then Jalen Naylor. I remember him at Michigan State. I'm a Michigan fan. But he can't run around. He can't run around. He can't even get off the line with that release. So it's like, it's bad. And there goes Cade Otten. I'm so mad I mentioned him to start this video. But, and oh boy, and the 32nd ranked offense. It's been ugly so far. But next season, we'll switch the playbook. Hopefully we get some weapons in here because the cap is cleared up a little bit. As you see, we have $105 million available. And then hopefully the Buccaneers can get back to prominence. Here, another week 1. And another pretty... How do we not pick up at least a decent center? I'm just going to help us out and put Amaro there. I'm not trying to get Shedeur killed. Okay, no running back, no receiver. Mike Evans is 33 years old now, and I don't even know he can run 20 yards down the field, let alone 40. I mean, the defense, though, is starting to lose all the bright spots, too. Antoine Winfield is still here. Vita Vea is still here. Ryan Neal and this elite safety, looks like a rookie, second-year player, is still here. But that's pretty much it. It's going to be very important for us to win some games this year to even keep the development up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch the playbook. If I have to switch the playbook, let's go here. I haven't actually done this yet this year. Let's go to team schemes, I believe is what it is. And we're going to go to a different playbook. Todd Bowles, you don't know what you're doing. Let's go to, I mean, what is probably best for young Shedeur Sanders, right? Maybe an offense like Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. I think we're going to go with that. So, Jacksonville will be our offense for this season. Hopefully, we can at least make some type of run at the division. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Bump the mid-season mark. Okay, 6-11. Not great. Yeah, not great at all. However, Shedeur still does have the superstar, which is good. I believe he has a couple of upgrades. We will go to strong arm. He is developing nicely, which is kind of the only bright spot of this team right now, which is kind of scary, honestly. We need help. So, this is probably the first time I'm going to put on my GM hat. We're going to have to go in free agency and get some help, because I don't know who the GM is of this team, but they haven't picked up anybody. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs again. However, I would like to see if our stats got better, and they're still terrible. Well, okay, the yards are bad. However, the touchdowns, 26, 8 interceptions is a lot better. He did get in on the ground this year, 344 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Gregory's actually not a terrible back. And then, once again, we just don't have a number one receiving threat. Mike Evans has completely fallen off a cliff. You see the mentor tag on him. He's doing more teaching than playing these days. However, I'm going to put on my GM hat. So I'm going to see y'all at the offseason this time. And we're going to try to get Shedeur some help. We're not going to ruin his career. I mean, we have the most cap I have probably ever seen in this connected franchise mode. We have $231 million. And yes, you guys can just already say it. Tyreek Hill is coming. I'm sorry. Shedeur is used to speed. I know he's not going to last this long. We're probably going to have to lower this to like 3 years. But I'm big. I'm big on him. We're going to be in the hunt for Tyreek Hill. Antoine Winfield, we cannot let go. We probably should have re-signed him. We're going very high. We have too much money not to be spending on some of these players. Now, some of these deals are going to have to be a little different because some of these guys are actually older. But another deal. Antoine Winfield, we're in the running. We just decided to let everybody go. Now, I don't know if it's because maybe this Madden is a little different, so the computer doesn't help us sign people. Maybe that has something to do with settings. But we're literally just letting everybody go. So, Vita Vea, we're going to sign, bring him back. Though we're at the top of a lot of people's list. Jamel Dean can walk. Devin White can walk. Tyree Wilson would be something I would love to bring in as well. We're bringing in very generous offers on everybody right now. We have too much money to be putting our hands behind our back. Too much. Too much money. So Tyree Wilson is also going to be somebody we're in the hunt with. Main thing, we also need receiving options. 28 years old, Donovan Peoples-Jones is not the best, but he's also not the worst. And once again, go blue. So we need help at the receiving spot. I'm going to try to give more money to Donovan Peoples-Jones. I feel like that's the goal here, right? We gotta get Shedeur some receiving help. That's what he's used to. Jackson State, Colorado. He had help at the receiver room. We're going to bring in Donovan Peoples-Jones if we can. Devin Duvernay would be nice, but I feel like we should also go young in some spots. Nobody is interested in Rondell Robinson. We have evaluations. Okay, hold on. So we're going to advance the next week and see if we can sign somebody. I don't know if this players eval has evaluated submitted offers. Okay, we got some signings. Tyreek Hill is here. Who else did we pick up possibly? Antoine Winfield is here. Vita Vea is here. That is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So I didn't know, but you can just hit the eval period. I've never really been a commissioner. I kind of play in the connected franchises. So I wasn't sure about that. However, we lost out on Tyree Wilson, but we did pick up some of the better players. Let's see if we can find anybody with youth, right? It's also about who's not interested. We have to upgrade certain spots. So Derrick Henry's on his last legs, not ideal. Isaiah Spiller, why not? Great. We don't have a good running back in the backfield. I would love to bring him in just at a medium risk offer as nobody's looking at him. Then as we go down here, receiver. Rondell Robinson was somebody I was interested in. We'll give him a very friendly offer to bring in another receiver. We need receiver help. We're also going to bring in Romeo Doubs. 3 years, not a lot of money. I don't think he has a lot of interest. We're going to bring him in. As we go down the list here, do we have a tight end on the roster? Cade Otton was terrible. I don't know if I want to bring him back. We're going to look into Irv Smith. We don't have the crazy thing is we have nobody on this roster. So we're going to bring in 2 tight ends okay, Darren Waller is a lot older, but he's still pretty doggone good with that speed. We're also bringing Darren Waller. So we're going to go ahead and evaluate or move past the eval period. We'll see who we signed. We got Irv. So far, Rondell Robinson, Romeo Doubs, and Irv Smith also signed to the team. We're just going to go through here, and I'm just going to cut this out, but I'm going to sign a whole lot of people, and then you guys will see the result. Because we got to get a trade that you guys need to know. I'm bringing in some cornerback help because we couldn't really fill that position in the free agency market. Denzel Ward on a 1-year deal left with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to trade 2 seconds and a 3rd round to bring him in and be our starting corner to try to help out the defense. With decent young running back and Travion Henderson. Those are going to be the only 2 trades I make. I will see you guys in week 1. We're in season number 4. I believe that's what season it is anyway. For Shedeur Sanders' career. Now, you guys are going to look at this team, and yes, we have made a significant amount of upgrades, and we're also going to change the scheme. This year, we're going to go Kansas City, and when I think of defense, I think of the Denver Broncos. Right, so we're going to switch it up, and we're also going to do our best to find a scheme fit that matches our team, which is vertical run, and then we will also go to the 4-6 defense. We got to switch it up to see if we can get some success. Now, the next thing is generate best lineup. I don't know about Darren Waller playing fullback, but we shouldn't have a lot of formations with fullback anyway. Mike Evans is still on the roster. I don't know how much he will play, but right now, Tyreek Hill, Devin Duvernay are the 2 outside threats. Irv Smith, Travion Henderson is our starting running back. We have a decent offensive line. I would not say it's great. Carey should probably be starting somewhere. So we'll probably start him at center because he does have star dev. Antoine Winfield is here. We have a dominant guy in the secondary, Hardiman, I want to say his name is. And he's 23 years old. We've actually seen him every year. Denzel Ward, who we traded for. Kyle Gordon, Marquez Wilson. Decent defensive line, not great. Right now, I would say we have a decent, above average team, right? But with a conference that should still be kind of weak, we should be able to make the playoffs. That is the goal. And give Shedeur a chance to go crazy this season. So, I will see you guys at the end of the season. Cross your fingers, say a prayer, get out a rosary, ask the Lord for a miracle so we can finally make the playoffs with this young man. Let's go. And we missed the playoffs again. Oh my God. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Okay. What we will do is check our stats, though. Right? That's what we have to look at. As Shedeur actually was 9th in passing yards, offensive was still terrible. But 3,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Rushing yards, Travion, we could not get the run game going at all. Irv Smith, because he was playing the Travis Kelce role, got 943 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 874 and 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 820 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Devin Duvernay, 727 and 10 touchdowns. Rushing rod, Shedeur Sanders, still 300 yards. He's kind of been there his entire career. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to start looking at who's leading the league in passing. Who Dak, so the Cowboys. Yeah, I think the Cowboys or the Bengals might be interesting as far as offense. Let's just go ahead and check to see what playbooks we could try. Let's see what we got here. As far as offense, yeah, the Rams, Cowboys, Raiders, Falcons. I'll try to remember those. But not a terrible season. This is the first season I'll actually check awards because I feel like maybe we could be up there as we go to the NFC. And are we in the NFC? We are in the NFC, right? Who are we? Who are we? The Buccaneers. Right. We are in the NFC. Defensive player of the year? No. Offensive? We're not in the rookie conversation. Best quarterback? Shedeur Sanders is on the best quarterback list. So that does mean something. His legacy score is not getting up there because we haven't had much success early in his career, which is worrisome. Now, usually I would jump forward. However, I think what is about to be interesting is we will see if coming this offseason, Shedeur re-signed with this team or not. To know the record, it's right there. We were 7-10, still the bottom of the division. What should be interesting is if we check free agency, which is here right now. I don't know why I can't click on it. It doesn't seem like I can click on it. We will see if Shedeur is still on this team, because that will be what really matters. Okay, he is, and then we'll check his contract situation as well as we go ahead and throw strong arm on him 2 times. As he's still becoming a pretty doggone good quarterback. However, he has now lost his abilities. 25 years old. And let's just do a recap, man. I mean, he's never thrown for over 30 touchdowns. He's had 2 seasons where he's thrown more than 15 picks, 15 or more. But he has gotten better in the last 2 seasons. Now, the question is, by the time we get... Oh, that's what I'm supposed to check. His contract. But y'all got to remind me of this stuff, man. We're going to check his contract and see. Because it is important to see if he will be around going into the future. He does have 5 years left. Okay. So, what will probably happen here is we will probably sim 5 years ahead and see where Shedeur Sanders is then. And it's been a struggle so far, though. Honestly, it's not been easy. Hasn't made it to the playoffs yet. The Bucs have been a pretty bad franchise. Hopefully, by the time we get 5 years in the future, maybe things will start to go his way. So I will see you guys in what year we in. I'll see you guys in 2032. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. 2032. 5 years in the future. And we might as well go ahead and check the roster. Shedeur should still be on this team, I'm assuming, and he is. Now, the real question is, has he done anything spectacular since the last time we saw him? He's now 23 years old. And the answer is no. I mean, he's had some good seasons, right? 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions is probably his best season. 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 3,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. The ratio is not bad. He has not been able to be a dominant 4,000, 5,000 pass yard guy. It's not been pretty, right? So now we're hoping that on the backside of his career, now, because I mean, we done went through the young years, but some people at their prime at 29, I guess. We're hoping that he can now develop and possibly get a Super Bowl ring, possibly make a couple playoff runs. Because so far it's been bad, man. This is going sort of like the Travis Hunter video. It really is, because we haven't had any great success. However, we will check his contract. There's one thing we will check. As he signed an extension in Tampa Bay, I don't think he knows what he's doing. Oh, he's made a lot of money. I tell you that. Somebody cue the deal. Must be the money. It got to be the money, because you see, it got to be, because that's the only thing he's been doing is collecting checks. I thought we was gonna have Tom Brady. This is more like Kirk Cousins. Y'all can see the team. It's not great. I mean, oh boy, it's not great. Now somehow Hardiman is still here. This guy has been amazing as he has continued to push papers and become special, even with me not around. However, it's been bad, man. And I don't know how we're going to win this season playing the way we've been playing. I especially with the talent we have. We're already 1-1. We already have a loss. I was running the Dallas Cowboy playbook during that 5-year period. It didn't seem to really change much. So now I feel like we're gonna switch it up again. Who was probably? They said Drake May was at the top a bunch of time. Also Caleb Williams. Let's see if we can find one of them and see if maybe Drake May plays for the Vikings. We're gonna try the Vikings or the Rams. We'll go Rams. We'll go Rams. And see if maybe that helps. But so far, it's been tough, man. He hasn't really done anything crazy. I also got to check his awards to see if maybe that changed. As the playbook did change and I didn't even change it. Somebody must have moved on. We're going to go to the Los Angeles Rams and see if maybe that helps us out. But man, not to have a season over 4,000 yards is pretty bad. I feel like in a passing era, not getting that many yards is pretty astonishing. It should be a lot easier. I mean, he's only got, look at that. 3,800 yards has been his max. Let's go ahead and look if he's got any awards. None. Other than being a first round pick 19 in 2024, nothing has happened. He's also a trade target, which is even worse. I mean, I guess I'll see you guys at the end of the season, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Another season and another game. Not another game, sorry. Another missed playoffs. As the Falcons are dominating. 13-4. I feel like they've won the division the whole time I've been here. We'll check the stats, but it's been ugly. 4,000 yards! Oh my gosh, we hit a milestone. 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His best year yet. He also had a receiver, the Solomon Flanagan, go for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. This has been our best statistical season with Shedeur. Maybe that gets us the Pro Bowl nod. I guess we can check that. And we're going to go ahead and sim to the Pro Bowl week right quick. I mean, I know it's another losing season, right? And that's unfortunate. I'm not going to lie. However, it is a positive that we did throw over 4,000 yards, right? You got to look at the positives or something. It's been a letdown so far. I thought maybe when he got drafted to the Buccaneers, maybe we could have some positivity. Maybe we could have some progression. But not so far. And he also did not make the Pro Bowl because, look, Drake May, somebody named C. Reed, Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes is still kicking. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence all made it. Sorry to my boy Shedeur Sanders. No good. No good. Okay. We're just going to jump 5 more years. I feel like it can't get any worse, and he's pretty much signed. So I will see you guys in 2037. Hopefully, he's still around. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And once again, we 0-2. I can't make this stuff up. Let's just go ahead and check out the roster, man. I'm pretty sure Shedeur is still here. Yeah. Oh, wow! He got a superstar back. I wonder when that happened. Okay, so he did get a superstar back, so that means he must have had a couple good years in him. We will definitely go and check the stats. As his XP is now so high because he's gotten so up there in age that we probably won't get to do much. However, I would like to throw some different abilities on him. Throw Conductor, we'll throw, what else we got here? Lost in Deadeye. So he did end up getting his abilities back, which is pretty impressive. At 34 years old now, yeah, that season was his best season. 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Then we went to 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Very good game manager. Except for the early in his career, he never threw a lot of interceptions. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Last year was a pretty good year for him with 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And this season, we haven't started off so well. His rushing yards, for the most part, he had some great seasons. 2029, he had 600 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Other than that, though, it's been around the between 300 and 400 yards for the most part. And getting him a few rushing touchdowns every season except, I think, 2. The question is, he did get his superstar back. So I guess the question is, did he have any awards? And no, he does not. This is his last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he has a bad team once again. My boy Hardeman is finally left. We do have a pretty decent defense. I'm going to sim it to the end of this season. And we might go season to season from here on out. Only because we're getting to the end of the road. He's 34 years old. He probably doesn't have that much football left in him. But we'll see. 14. Like, I wish, the only thing I guess I wish we could see is did we ever have a good season? Because it's been bad, man. Like, the Bucs have been a terrible franchise with, I guess, a decent quarterback this entire time. And not a great quarterback, not a good quarterback, just a decent quarterback. Is once again, 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And I mean, the offense just couldn't get going. We have a new, maybe kind of Mike Evans at 6'3". Not really as tall, not really big as in size, but 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. I mean, I also want to see, I guess this would be a great time to check legacy score. I don't think he's nowhere up there. He's been in the league a long time. He's 15 on the list, but I doubt that makes the Hall of Fame. You see some of the Hall of Famers, Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, even without the Super Bowls, is on his way. Joe Burrow's on the Baltimore Ravens now, scary. Josh Allen, Hall of Famer, never got one Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes ended up getting one more. Aaron Rodgers, it means no, it doesn't. My fault. He only had the one with the Packers. About to say he got one with the Jets. Drake May is on a great pace. 2 Super Bowls, so that's pretty good for him. He's probably getting up there in age now, though. Lamar ended up at least getting one and does make the Hall of Fame. Dak Prescott ended up getting one, did make the Hall of Fame. Tua got one. Jalen Hurts never got one. I mean, we're just checking some of the Hall of Famers here. Justin Herbert got one and got in the Hall of Fame. Shedeur getting in the Hall of Fame kind of seems far-fetched. I mean, it hasn't worked out like we thought it would. You know what I'm saying? But we will simulate to the offseason because I think this is probably the time he's going to leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have to think that maybe it's finally, let me get my words right. It's finally time to leave the doggone Buccaneers. Like, what the heck, man? We've been here our whole career, and we haven't gotten anything. We've been terrible. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I don't think we ever won a division. I don't think we ever even made the playoffs. We definitely haven't made a Super Bowl. It's just been bad, man. It's been bad the entire time. I don't know how many great players' careers we've wasted, but we definitely have wasted away Shedeur's career. Now, we will check the active roster to see if he's still on the team and check his contract. He is still here. What does his contract say, I wonder? He's got 1 year. 1 year, $12 million. I think he retires after this year. So we're just going to jump to the end of the season because I think this might be the last ride. Another bad season, man. 5-12. And you got to think that's the end. Like, we'll check the stats. But my gosh, it's been terrible. Yeah. 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I mean, it was bad. He's still able to run, which has to be impressive at this age. You know, like prime time, aged like fine wine. So did his son with his athleticism. So that's pretty impressive. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the year he retires. I wonder, do we still get to see the retirees? Or will we just have to see if he disappears? Do they still have the retirees? Oh, yeah, the retirements. Something tells me this is the year. So, Joe Burrow retires after 19 years. No, he doesn't retire? Okay, so Joe Burrow retired, which is probably a future Hall of Famer, obviously. But he does not retire. His contract was up. So I guess now it's just about where does he sign. He's still here. Shedeur's still here. He spent his whole career with the Buccaneers. I guess the question is, will he... I mean, at this point, I'm going to guess he stays, right? You got to just assume. He's 36 years old. Let's see the roster. It's still not that great. This tight end has been here a long time. I wonder how good his career has been. Let's just... You know, you like to tune in on some of these things and see. Nothing really. He's got the 2029 Offensive Rookie of the Year, but nothing crazy. I mean, the team's just not good enough. Like, it's still not good enough. We'll get to the end of the season. Hopefully we make the playoffs, man. And what else can I say, man? I mean, it's been bad. It's been bad. It's been bad. It's been bad. We're going to check the stats, throw the upgrades on there as always, but I mean, at this point, it's just muscle memory. You guys already know the season's over. 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Pretty decent season. He also still getting in on the ground. It's been impressive. I guess that's been the most impressive thing. I don't think those stats are going to be good enough for any weekly awards or any yearly awards. Oh, man. Offensive player, best quarterback. He's still somewhere in the running. His legacy score is just average. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's been bad. I keep saying it because it's the truth. I thought maybe. But it's just with so many talented quarterbacks, it's going to be difficult for him to have a chance. And we're going to head and sim to Super Bowl week. I mean, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, he's in the prime of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Like, it's going to be hard to break the mold. And that's pretty much what he suffers from, I feel like. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as a management group, couldn't get anything together. I even tried to help, and it wasn't good enough, as we're going to look at the retirees for this year. And I feel like Shedeur should be in here. Like, it's time to hang it up, right? He is not, and he does hang it up. That sucks, but yeah, it was time. It was time. Unfortunately, I mean, you guys pretty much saw the legacy score. If not, just rewind the video and you'll see it. It wasn't really nothing to look at. I think it was 13,000 plus. We can check, but I just doubt he made the Hall of Fame, man. Not enough success in the league. As we go here and we can look at quarterback. 13,000. It's number 16. I wonder if we'll be able to... I guess we can see if he made the Hall of Fame. I think you need at least 20,000 to make the Hall of Fame. And he never got any yearly awards. Hold on. Before I always say before he disappears. Because I don't want him to disappear right now. I think he's already disappeared, though. Possibly. He never got an award, though. I doubt he ever got an award. I think we just saw it on the little legacy screen. He never got an award. Not even a Pro Bowl nod. Like, do you know how crazy that is? Not even a Pro Bowl nod. Like, let's go over here and just look one more time. Okay, no, he's definitely not making the Hall of Fame. It looks like everybody who made the Hall of Fame, as he's right here, he never got a championship game, never got a Super Bowl, 0 yearly awards. It's been terrible, man. It's been absolutely terrible. But without further ado, man, please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Some of these career sins are probably going to go that way. Unfortunately, they can't all be Hall of Famers. Travis Hunter was elite, at least for a couple years. We never got a Super Bowl run, but he was at least a shutdown corner. Shedeur was pretty much just collecting checks. Let's just be real. However, we will have a quarterback that makes the Hall of Fame. Trust me on that one. But please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Y'all already know I'm Majak1K. And I'm out of here, man.